Hello, this is Rory from RH Coaching, and I'm going to talk to you today about a 10-step process for achieving easy and sustainable body transformations. And this is a process that I have developed over the last few years from working with hundreds of people to help them really transform the way that they look, quite often radically, but always sustainably. And this is because I believe that the way that you look and feel massively impacts on every other area of your life. So if you want to live a more fulfilled, higher quality of life, then you've got to come from a place where you feel more confident and have more energy and have more pride in the way that you look and the way that you feel. So with this in mind, I've been helping people achieve exactly that, changing their body image, increasing their confidence and energy levels, and getting them to live life to the full because they are proud of who they are and they love the body that they are within. So I'm going to talk you through a 10-step process to achieving exactly that, and I'm going to break down each step as we go, so it really educates you on how to create this sustainability in your own body transformation. So we are avoiding fads, we are avoiding diets, we are avoiding short-term programs. This is for life, this is forever. You are undergoing a process that you can maintain for 20, 30, 40 years. And you do so by following the process that I'm going to outline here. If it doesn't adhere to what I call my 3 C's of habit change, if it isn't consistent, convenient, and contentable, then we need to adjust the process to work for you. There is no cookie cutter program, but by following this process, you will find a program and a plan that suits you, and that can be adjusted for your own lifestyle and your own enjoyment, so you can have fun throughout the process. And that is very important because you're never going to maintain it if you're not enjoying it and if you don't mind doing it. Alright, so let's go through the 10 steps without further ado. The first step is to discover your values. Okay, so discovering your values are the things that you live by the most. Okay, the values are the things that dictate our decision making every single day. So a lot of our decision making as we go day to day will be based upon our highest values. If, for example, we value our kids more than anything else, then a lot of our decision making is going to go towards benefiting them. A lot of our energy, time and money will be spent on them. Same can be said for business. If we value our business more than anything else, a lot of our time and energy and resources will go towards our business. So whatever we value most in life, we have to determine what that is. And then once we know what that is, we can then link the benefits of achieving your physical goals with those highest values. So if, for example, my highest value is children, my kids, then how is getting fitter and stronger and more confident and more energized going to benefit their lives? It's going to improve my relationship with them. It's going to turn me into a better role model for them. They will grow up being healthier and fitter, okay, so they can live more fulfilled lives as well. So you want to determine what your values are, what you value most in this world, what you truly live for, and then ask yourself, what are the benefits of achieving my physical goals and achieving my physical body transformation? What benefits is that going to have on these highest values of mine? Okay, and we're starting to determine our why, our incentive by doing this. Step number 2, we're now going to measure and track where we are currently. So this can be done through weight, through tape measurements, through body fat percentage, through clothes sizes. It could be through fitness tests, strength tests, mobility tests, okay? But we are going to determine exactly where we are right now by using these sort of methods. So it doesn't matter if it's a negative place you're at right now and you don't feel good about where you are right now. The important thing is to understand that you are there now, because then we can move on to the next step, which is discovering your vision and creating your goals. So this is step number 3. Now we know where we are, we can now start creating some goals to get to where we want to be and comparing it against where we are now. So I use a 3-step process. You first of all discover your vision. So your vision is what you can imagine yourself achieving. So you can close your eyes for 5 or 10 minutes and just think ahead, think to a future event. It might be a wedding, it might be a birthday party, it might be some sort of significant event. And you put that in your mind and you think about exactly how you want to look and how you want to feel, what you want to be wearing, who's with you, who you're with, what people are saying to you, how people are complimenting you and how you are feeling. And you just spend some time absorbing all this into your mindset and feeling goosebumps because it feels so good. This is your vision. This is what you want to achieve. From this vision, we can draw powerful goals, specific goals, measurable goals, goals which you can see yourself achieving but can actually track. So from that vision, you might draw goals such as a clothes size or a certain weight or being able to run a 10K in under a certain time. Okay, so if our vision was to look the best possible as best as possible on our wedding day, then our goals from that might be to be in a certain dress size for our wedding day. Okay, that's a goal. And then from these goals, we can then write up some affirmations to maintain the momentum of motivation. So the affirmations are short-term sentences that are going to really motivate you every day when you read them. So these short-term sentences must be present tense. So if we use the wedding example again, I am a dress size 12 for my wedding day. That is an affirmation. Okay, not I want to be a dress size 12. Right? I am. You got to say it in present tense. So now we have started to discover our vision and we've created some goals, something to actually measure, something to actually track. Now we can move on to step number 4. Step number 4 is to actually look at the science, discover what the numbers are behind your journey. So we're looking at calories, we're looking at macronutrients, we're looking at energy in versus energy out. Okay, and this is where it gets a little bit more sciencey, but we're actually going to look at what we physically need to do to achieve our goals. So what actually needs to happen? What processes in the body needs to happen? If it's a fat loss goal, then we know we got to get into a calorie deficit. If we want to gain weight, we got to get into a calorie surplus. Look at what we actually need to do, what the science is to achieve our goals. So if we use the same example, the bride on a wedding day, she wants to be a dress size 12. She is currently a dress size 16. She needs to therefore drop 2 dress sizes as her goal. Then what is the science? What are the numbers? What rate of fat loss can we expect? And what sort of calorie content and nutritional content do we need to be consuming every day? So we're actually looking at the numbers here. And once we understand this and we know exactly what we need to do to achieve these goals, we have a plan of action, we can then move on to step number 5, which is starting to organize this plan properly. And we're going to start with nutrition. So now we understand the numbers, we can start to organize our nutrition based around what we need to do, based around our plan of action. So we don't want to overcomplicate nutrition, we don't want to overcomplicate diet, we want to make it come naturally and feel normal and easy. We want to be able to maintain this next 10, 20, 30 years or more. If you feel like you're on a diet at any point, then we're doing something wrong. We need to adjust it so it feels natural and normal and everyday life. And that includes the treats as well. If you go out for a birthday party or meet some friends for drinks, you've got to enjoy your life as well, guys. So step number 5 is to actually start organizing your nutrition. So you gain an understanding for what you want to eat, what you need to eat, proteins and fats and carbohydrates, nutritionally dense foods, fruits and vegetables, hydration, water, things like that. Gain an understanding for what you need to eat and start planning it into your week. I use a 3-step process of generating meal ideas and creating your own recipe book of meal ideas. So you've got, 5 breakfast ideas, 5 lunch ideas, 10 dinner ideas, and you can just go each week thinking, right, what should I have for breakfast, lunch and dinner for these 7 days? Then you could do your weekly shop, prepare your food, and it's easy. But remember to have that flexibility allowance as well. If you get called out and you want to go for coffee and cake with a couple of friends, enjoy it. If you go out for a drink or a 3-course meal, enjoy it, but earn it. Earn it in advance, earn it afterwards. It's all got to balance out. Okay, so now we've started to take control of your nutrition. Now it's time to move on to step number 6, which is your activity levels. So now we're starting to control the intake of energy. Now it's time to start controlling the expenditure of energy. So look at your current lifestyle and think, right, where can I increase my calorie burn? Where can I increase my steps every day? How can I get more active? Can I walk to work instead of drive? Can I take the kids to school on foot or in a pushchair rather than driving them? Can I take the stairs instead of a lift? Can I do more gardening? Can I clean my own house rather than getting a clean around? Okay, how can you get more active But it's got to be in a way that you don't mind doing as well, of course, which we'll move on to in one of the future steps coming up. But how can we get more active? Okay, and step number 7, leading on from that, is how can we start putting in specific workouts? So not just activity levels, but actually specific workouts, such as using the gym, going for a run, going for a swim, that sort of thing. Actual times where you designate some time to just exercising. And that's dedicating that time to yourself to exercise is very important. And this is where we start getting a bit more specific based around your goals. Someone with a pure fat loss goal is going to have slightly different plan to someone who wants to gain loads of muscle, for example. So start to actually designate some time to your workouts, however much time in the week is convenient and contentable for you, and start to slot in some workouts that are designed specifically for your goals. And then we can move on to step number 8. Again, leading on from that, we're talking about prehab and mobility work. So the more exercise you do, the more active we are, the more we need to make sure we're keeping our bodies fit and strong and conditioned. So stretching routines could be it could be some sort of rehab, prehab, or mobility work. And we want to be starting to slot that stuff in as well, so we feel good, our body feels strong and fit. Moving on to step number 9, we are now going to apply all the previous steps. So our goal setting, our nutrition planning, our exercise and workout organization, and we're going to start making sure that all of this is becoming habitual. It's becoming a habit. It's becoming part of our lifestyle. And this is essential to do, because if you've done all the previous steps but you can only maintain it for 2 or 3 months, you're never going to get the body transformation you want. You have to undergo these previous steps in a way that you can look at it and think, yeah, I can continue doing this for 10 years. I'm happy doing this. And it starts to become natural. It starts to become normal. It starts to become easy. And these, in order to make these become a habit, we've got to adhere to the 3 C's of habit change, which are consistency, convenience, and contentment. Everything that we do when generating a plan has to be consistent, convenient, and contentable. So ask yourself, when you're designing a plan, when you're designing what to eat, when you're deciding what to do for your workouts, can I do this consistently? Is it convenient? Does it fit my lifestyle without taking too many sacrifices? And is it contentable? Do I enjoy doing this, or do I not like doing this? If yes, yes, and yes, you formed a habit. If there's a no in there, we've got to adjust it to work for you. And it's essential you get this bit right. And finally, step number 10 is all about maintenance, momentum, and being able to break through barriers and plateaus when they come, which, by the way, they will. So what do we need to do to push past these barriers when we hit them? What do we need to do to level up when we hit a plateau? So I use a process of maintaining momentum or replenishing lost momentum called the 4 R's. So I get people to revisit their goals. I get people to remind themselves of their whys. I get people to review their process goals, their plan, and I get people to round up some form of accountability. And when you start hitting a plateau, or you see a barrier, an obstacle that you can't get over, then you start applying these 4 R's and you break through that barrier and you level up to the next step. And you keep doing this time and time again when you hit these plateaus. And this is how you maintain. And again, the longer you do this, the more second nature it will become, the more habitual it will become, and the less you'll have to think about it. So these are my 10 steps to take total control of the way you look and feel. My 10 steps for easy, sustainable body transformation. We're not dieting. We're not doing any fads. We're not doing any short-term programs. We are just undergoing a simple process that transforms your mindset, gets you thinking about what you want to achieve, starts taking control of your nutrition habits and your activity and exercise habits, and starts really making you feel comfortable and content in a process that is easy to stick to for the rest of your life.